For cheap D2R items, visit aoeah.com. You get 3% off with the code ARIAT. Check the link in the description. Hello and welcome everybody. Today's video is an Uber-Tristram special. We will admire the diversity you can face this endgame event with and celebrate together how a brave fighter takes on the challenge with a variety of unusual non-meta builds. He also has a YouTube channel where he collects his greatest hits, and at this point I can only recommend you to check it out and leave a sub there. The channel is called Mephisto. Here you can see the exact spelling, and you will find the link in the description and in the end card. The videos that we look at are linked separately, so if you have any questions about the builds, please write them in his comments. And of course he is also happy about some likes. The Paladin is basically the most easy character for Uber-Tristram. Smite always hits and resistances are quite easy to get. All you generally need is life tap and crushing blow. The Smiter is the cheapest UT build and also one of the fastest. Kixin, Mosaic Assassin or Summoner Necro are very quick killers as well. But of course there are also much more possibilities. I have already shown different UT builds like Barbarian or Spear Amazon. In one of my last videos we saw a Boazon, and how a Sorceress can handle UT we have also seen yet. Today I present to you 5 very unusual examples, so make a noise for Mephisto. Number 1. Paladin with Sigon Set. We can see that he has used the Treasury Armor to precast Fate, very classical. For life tap he has to use a Necro Wand. Since the Sigon Set contains both gloves and a shield, he can't use Exile or Draculs here. The build is a Zealot, but in Uber-Tristram he of course will Smite. 1 point in the skill tree is enough for this, but it should be mentioned that this Paladin was not specifically tuned for Uber-Tristram. His main skill is actually Zeal. With Warcry he has little more than 2000 life points, but since he has put aside the CTA for the life tap wand, he won't be able to recast his Warcries. Then it starts. The Lord of Hatred gets attacked first, of course. The skeletons do their best to defend Mephisto, but helplessly they have to watch their master taking some evil hits, until he finally falls. At Bale, Battle Orders runs out and the Paladin has to fight on with only 1300 life points. But since he can rely on the life tap curse, this doesn't bother him too much. Lost life points are regained immediately. So he finally also defeats Bale. Just one evil left. Finally Diablo is confronted, and still in tow are 2 vengeful skeleton mages who could not handle their master's death. Desperate, they cast some ice bolts, but it all seems ineffective against this Paladin, and in the end, the Lord of Terror also dies just in front of them. The Paladin disappears, leaving the skeletons with shattered dreams and fears of the future. The torch which the Paladin did not pick up is their only light now. At the end of the video, statistics, skill tree and equipment are shown, but it's in German, so I reconstructed all the builds in single player to show you in English. By the way, you can also download them on my Discord server for offline testing. 33% crushing blow is just enough as you can see, and the 50% open wounds are also very important for builds that only do little damage. You need it to prevent the boss heal here. Both crushing blow and open wounds are on the rune word Kingslayer. The rune word Last Wish would not work here, even though life tap and massive crushing blow are some strong arguments. But without open wounds, Sigon's shield would not inflict enough smite damage to work against the boss heal, and there are no rings or amulets which have open wounds. Remember, wearing the complete Sigon set, you only have jewelry and weapon slots left. Let's continue with the next clip. Again a paladin, but this one is only 42 levels young. So he does not even have 1000 life points yet, and of course he can't carry items like CTA, Draculs or Grief. Treasury also is no option here, because it's level 43. But surprise, the fight is over pretty quickly. So the paladin seems to have a lot of crushing blow, open wounds, and also his smite damage seems not to be too bad at all. The paladin gets new pots for Diablo and Baal, and of course he fights them one after the other. Here the last millimeters of the life bar take a little longer, which is due to the fact that Uber-Mephisto only has 20% damage reduction against physical attacks, Uber-Diablo and Uber-Baal have 50%. Nevertheless, they die pretty fast. I've already seen high-level barbarians taking longer for this. The fact that the UT monsters were beaten up so badly by just a level 42 paladin is a humiliation they won't forget. Here is a skill tree. 1 point in Salvation, a few in Fanaticism, and the majority in Holy Shield and Smite. In the statistics we can see lots of crushing blow, some open wounds, and the smite damage is really nice for such a low level. So now I'm really excited about the equipment. The weapon is a flash render, just like Kingslayer, it has crushing blow and open wounds. Duriel's shell is important for resistances and against freezing. After all, a Raven is level 45. But we can use a Gully helmet and the Herald of Zakarum. That explains the high damage. The creator told me that his intention was to complete Uber-Tristram without any rune words, torch Nanny, mercenaries, war cries or the help of others. Definitely an extraordinary achievement. Most characters at this level still play with dolls in Nightmare. Extraordinary and doll are also the keywords for the next clip. Uber-Tristram as an undead doll. A brief explanation: the rune word Delirium can transform the character into a small undead red man. But the chance for the effect to trigger is very low at 1%, and the transformation only lasts for a minute. In this form, the character can only strike with the basic attack and also has some other breakpoints. But he retains all his bonuses and properties. For the paladin, this also includes his auras. So defeating all UT bosses in that form really is a badass exercise, and it's hard to beat in terms of creativity. The skeletons certainly wouldn't have expected this. A false flag attack. Disguised as a distant relative, the paladin simply walks in and attacks the peaceful inhabitants of Uber-Tristram in their burning houses. The skeletons can't believe their not existing eyes. Mephisto is gone in no time. But as the transformation only lasts for a minute, it has to be renewed in between. Then it's Diablo's turn to fight the doll. As we can see, Emilio also did not shit his pants yet. Finally Baal. The paladin puppet is just unimpressed, and the mana steal does not even matter here. We don't need any for the basic attack. But since no life tap triggers for a longer time, he had to drink some pots. Finally, life tap is casted and the rest is just routine. For preparation, the paladin uses Delirium and the demon limb to cast enchant. And in the skill tree, that enormous amount of dexterity is noticeable. Both will help to get enough attack rating with the basic attack. The build has over 100% chance of crushing blow and 10% open wounds, at around 3000 damage and 18,000 attack rating. The defense value about 30k is also pretty high. The Mercenary has Infinity. That is great because the Conviction aura also lowers the enemy's defense value. The Paladin himself plays Last Wish and Herald of Zakarum. For transforming, he uses Delirium and then switches to Gully. Together with Last Wish, you can easily get 100% Crushing Blow. The Metal Grid Amulet is also very useful here. It has more resist than Mara's and it also increases the attack rating, which is what we need here. So the doll is well equipped, but the idea is really creative and only using the basic attack to kill the UT boss is also the special challenge. The next example once again is a paladin, but this time Emilio has to kill the bosses. The paladin only does some supporting work. That sounds tedious, and it is. The clip is almost 15 minutes long, so I'm only showing some shorter cutouts. Here we can see the basic strategy. Thanks to Marrowwalk boots, you can also cast bone prisons as a paladin. Mephisto simply gets imprisoned together with Emilio, which allows the merc to focus on the boss. In addition, the paladin does his best to heal him with his holy bolts, killing some skeletons alongside. As long as they don't interfere too much in the fight, you don't need the bone prison all the time. The paladin also uses fanaticism and lightning resistance aura to buff Emilio, and we can see the Decreepify curse being cast. After Mephisto is dead, the other two evils are fought the same way, a time-consuming process, which I have extremely shortened here. The paladin used a demon limb to enchant the mercenary, and treachery was used twice here, to trigger fate on both, the character and the mercenary. Emilio comes with the Holy Freeze aura, Duress armor for open wounds and some crushing blow, Gully helmet for more crushing blow and socketed with a Chum rune against freezing, and an Ethereal Reaper stall, socketed with the Bear rune. Here he gets the Decreepify casts. Important for the paladin are Marrowwalk boots for casting bone prisons, Enigma to coordinate the mercenary by teleporting, and lots of skill points and resistances. The latter is necessary to survive. The paladin does not fight himself, so no life tap will heal him here. In the tree, the following skills have been maximized: Prayer, Lightning Resistance, Fanaticism, Holy Shield and Holy Bolt. Prayer is a synergy to Holy Bolt that increases the healing effect, so this aura is not actively used. In the last example, we see a Fire Sorceress with the Disciple Set. It's a Fireball Meteor build, but the static field is of course also very practical here. The Mercenary was enchanted during the preparation and got a Fate pre-buff just like the Sorc. With the Sorceress, the playstyle in Uber-Tristram is a little different. Skillful dodging and good positioning are the key to success here. Damage is no problem, but you will have to drink pots for healing. Of course, bone prisons would make things much easier here as well, but since the Disciple set also contains boots, Marrowwalks are no option this time. The monsters can't believe it. The sorceress burns down everything as if there was not enough fire in Tristram yet. Does no one in the whole of Sanctuary really have any sympathy? The answer is no. On Mephisto's channel you will find many more examples with all different classes. So if you wanna see how Assassin or Necromancer kill Uber-Tristram under extreme conditions, be sure to check him out. By the way, if anyone knows a website or something where such challenges and achievements get honored, please write it in the comments. I say goodbye, take care, and may the loot be with you.
Follow me. Come on. Thank you. Bye.